Just being in the community, you get reminded that there's people doing 10x, 100x you, and if you believe that you have the potential to do so, that you're gonna do it, right? People could be putting thoughts and beliefs in you. And a perfect example of this is I recently reconnected with my faith like 8 to 10 months ago, like fully,
Nice.
Through a psychedelic experience. Funny enough, one of my friends, he texts me, he's like, yo bro, I took LSD and it changed my life. Automatically I'm like, this guy's a crackhead. And I was telling him, I was doing everything to make myself feel good, like listen to music, try to watch videos, and I couldn't. I was going, like, genuinely going insane, bro, just thinking that I lived the worst. My perspective was I lived a horrible life, right?
Welcome back to Seeking Success Podcast, the #1 podcast in Toronto. Today we have a very special guest. We have Splashman, a guest that's been long awaiting. Splashman, we want to do an intro for you, but I think we want you to take this away. Who is Splashman?
For sure. My real name is Parikchhit. Come from Nepal. Came here when I was 8 years old, about to turn 9.
Dope.
Since then, I was always just focused on just trying to, be big. So when I was in high school, just being active online and watching people on YouTube, I was led to the online money world, Before I used to work at Home Depot, and I didn't even know that it was possible to make $1 online. And ever since I made my $1 online when I was 17, I got addicted, and this is what I do full time. I'm mainly known for email marketing.
Yeah.
Branded myself around email marketing. Most of my businesses are all based around email marketing. Overall nice guy. Like to travel.
Okay.
That's pretty much
Phenomenal.
Word. Okay, so Splashman, we have like a couple things that we have some birdies around the world that tell us things, okay? And we want to verify some things that our birdies told us, okay?
Okay.
So is Geronimo Stilton one of your favorite children's book?
Actually is. That's actually jokes. I don't know how you guys found that out, but there was a point, that's crazy. There was a point in my life where I had read every Geronimo Stilton books. Yeah, like up to whatever came out, probably grade 5, grade 6. But yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I read at one point I did. That's crazy, wow.
We also saw this year, I don't know if you're still following, but Arsenal, they bottled the league. You are a pretty big Arsenal fan since time.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
That was typical Arsenal fashion, just the whole year be on top of the league, and then the last couple of games just bottled it, like you said. At least, what I'm saying, the only positive I'll say is we're finally back in the Champions League.
There you go.
It sucks saying that, but yeah, at least we're back in the Champions League. Hopefully one day I get to go watch a Champions League Arsenal game. That is actually a dream and goal of mine.
That'd be dope, bro. Well, I also want to ask you, were you the popular kid at Ascension of our Lord?
For sure.
Yeah?
For sure. The reason being is, sorry for that. The reason being is I was like a chameleon, you know what I'm saying? Like I could relate to everyone. I was the smart kid, also an athlete, and like also just like, just an overall like cool guy. So I not really have no problem with anyone, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't really hold grudges or whatever. But yeah, I'm like an interesting mixture, you know what I'm saying? Where I was like always top 3 in my grade. And then also I'm in the basketball team, volleyball team, you know what I'm saying? So that made me and I was also active, right? Like these different clubs, I'll just go out of my way and join. And then you just meet people get to know you. And then, if you're cool, then, you know what I'm saying, you just get known.
Word.
Was it like that at Morningstar as well?
One of the main reasons is like basketball team, man. And Morningstar, man, like that's crazy. You guys know like the middle school stuff too, but in Morningstar,
of course we have to know, bro. You're Splashman.
Yeah. In Morningstar, basketball was like such a huge thing for our school. Like we have such a huge like history of basketball, and that's where I actually started playing basketball. I got really into basketball. Wanted to like I love basketball from Morningstar, and just being in the basketball team, like for sure, I would say. And then again, I was very active. I joined every club. Still a smart kid. Won a bunch of academic awards. So you just get known, just doing all that stuff.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Also, we want to say congratulations. You just got a Tesla Model Y.
Thank you.
You joined the Tesla Club.
Tesla Club. Yeah.
Fuck you.
No, not the same reaction I get on Money Twitter.
Bro,
I get called a 40-year-old mom. All this, but it's just
Dude. Okay, why the Model Y? Out of everyone on the lineup, why the Model Y?
So I actually went in to test drive a Model 3, and I think I was talking to you about that too. I was pretty sold on the Model 3.
Yeah.
Even test drove it, and then when it was like time to just talk about like the payments and everything, the guy was like, "Yo, what are your thoughts on the Model Y?" And the payments were like similar, and I was like, "Word!" And there was right there. It was more spacious. I was like, "Let me test drive this as well." And I'm just so used to driving an SUV that when I got on it, I was like, this is like, you know what I'm saying? It felt so much more comfortable. I don't know. And like the space too, I don't know. Even though it's just me, the space alone, I like it. But yeah, I don't regret not getting the Model 3. And the Model S, I don't know.
It's nice.
And then the
bro.
Model
Nice.
X, it's whatever. Like, I realized, I thought I needed like the fastest car, but even like this is like the standard Model Y, and this shit's so fast. I'm like, I don't need anything. Like, I genuinely don't need anything faster because I would just get in a lot of trouble if I had a faster car for sure.
That's true.
Even this is like
Even
too
this
fast
is
for
very
me.
dangerous
Even this
too,
is too dangerous, bro.
Too
Like
fast.
for real, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, for
Bro,
real.
is Amber giving you shit for grabbing this car?
Oh my God, yeah. Amber and her husband. Oh yeah, since the minute I told them I got a Tesla, I'm getting a lot of pride jokes.
Yeah,
A lot of,
literally.
it's not a real car.
Crazy.
It's good luck driving an iPad jokes.
Like, fuck,
but I love it. You know, I've never been a cars guy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
So it's
okay.
like I don't care about the noise. Like my friends, you know, like they get horny over noises and like car noises, and I'm like, who's the weird one? You or me? You know what I'm saying? It's like for real. Like, oh my God, the engine A52. Do you hear that noise? I'm like, bro, I don't give a shit. Like, let me just A to B. Let me get there. You know what I'm saying? And my car drives itself. Fuck, like,
Bro, I'm so
you know what I'm
happy.
saying?
I'm so happy this is happening because I think this is the first time ever in our podcast
Someone's
that there's
on
been
EV side.
someone's on my side with the Teslas. Bro, fuck your shit box, bro. I've been saying.
I don't give a
Listen,
fuck.
bro.
No one
bro.
fucking
Listen,
cares.
bro.
No one cares.
I really don't.
You guys are tools of the Matrix, bro.
Bro, fuck
When
you're
the next
sure.
lockdown, bro, they're gonna turn your car off, bro. Then let's see who's laughing, bro.
Perfect, bro. I'll get my boosters. Listen, I'll get it back.
Yeah, bro.
Crazy.
Listen, bro. I'll just identify as another gender. What are they gonna do then? You
Crazy.
can't discriminate me.
There's nothing to do with your gender. They're locking your ass down,
Oh,
bro.
we'll
They're
make
turning
it
your
about
car off.
gender.
Well, yeah.
We'll make it about gender.
Yeah. I'm gonna become a woman, and then what?
Crazy. Okay.
Yeah, let's not go down that road
EVs,
yet.
More about Splashman. So you came here from Nepal at 9 years old, man. What was that fucking culture shock like? Because
It was
language. Did you know English before coming here?
Yes, so I'm very grateful that my parents and then my family, they put me in really good schools when I was in Nepal.
Okay.
So I actually like had learned English, and then even like when I was younger, my uncle, like, you know, he'd bring me his college books and I'll just read. I was like, there'll just be a thing where I'm just reading. Like, I don't know what I'm reading, but I'm just practicing reading. And that's hence I don't have a brown accent. You know, like I know a lot of people that came before me that have a brown accent, and no diss to you if you do, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter, but like, but that's one of the reasons I don't is like from a young age. And then even in my school, during English class, you couldn't speak Nepalese. Otherwise, you have to, you know, get punished. Or like, and in Nepalese class, you couldn't speak English. Like, it's very strict, you know? School back home is so strict and very like disciplinary and and structured. And the culture shock was there, bro. Like something as simple as like, bro, the Nepal airport has one escalator that goes up. When we landed in Hong Kong for a layover, bro, we had a 12-hour layover. I did not get bored, bro. We just went to the bathrooms, like what the dryer, like what? You know what I'm saying? Just going up and down escalator, random escalators.
That's
We're like,
sick.
I'm from a village, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, you're actually from a village?
like village. Grew up with a cow, goats, like literal village. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, my mom used to like milk our cows and go sell like the milk.
No way.
In the like things like that. Like the bread, a guy used to come with a thing of bread and just buy it from them and stuff. Like,
Crazy.
like they still lived like, you know, close to the city. It's not like I was very like remote,
Isolated, yeah.
but definitely like, yeah, I grew up in a village.
Wow. Dude, that contrast is insane.
Huge.
Growing up in a village to now fucking making all this money online too, versus watching your parents literally fucking milk cow, walk to the market.
Yeah.
What do your parents think about all this, man?
Yeah, they're very proud of me. You know, I'm very grateful that they had sacrificed what they had to sacrifice to bring me and my sister here.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad had a pretty good life there. You know, he was paralegal, and he also used to sell real estate. And yeah, so he had it good. My mom, you know what I'm saying? She just had to do things around the house. And when they came here, like life wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like easy for them.
Yeah, it's not easy transition.
necessarily, right?
No.
So yeah, it was necessarily like, you know, easy for them to just do all this and then sacrifice, like, you know, leave everything they know, you know what I'm saying? Like my parents don't even know proper English, to just leave all that behind and come here for me and my sister. That means a lot. And I'm very grateful. And then on the culture shock, I actually have funnier stories too. Like when I landed in Toronto, I remember it was December 6th, 2008. We go outside, it's freezing. Freezing. I think it was one of the first days it started snowing. Then we go to our apartment. Dad picks us up, go to our apartment. I remember my dad got hot water on command from the tap. That was like whoa,
Mind blowing.
like, mind blowing, and like
shit.
and the next day is going to the grocery stores, like, cause you know where I'm from, like I remember the shop near me, like you know you tell the guy what you want, give him the money, and then he grabs it for you and gives it to you. Like just seeing that there's so much abundance of everything, and then you can just touch it, grab it, like before you even pay it. Like I was like such a culture shock. And I came here a skinny kid, but the first couple of years I got fat. Like I got very chubby because I was just eating. I was just eating, bro. Like, you know, you hear all these things. Like I remember in Nepal, I've never even had pizza. You know what I'm saying? Like so many things I never had. So I was like, yo, I was just eat everything, bro. Go to a banquet hall, just fucking stuff myself. You know, all you can eat, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like a lot of culture shock, a lot of just a new way of life. I remember even going to school in Nepal, they'll be like, yeah, write 2 pages, 10 minutes. Yeah. Here it's like, all right, guys, write a paragraph. You have 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like the contrast was so different as well in like what the expectations was, even if you were so young.
Yo, so talk to us about like in Nepal, because I know like I'm Tamil, so I'm Sri Lankan. In Sri Lanka, if you're a kid and like you fucking misbehave, you get beat. Do you get beat in Nepal too? Yeah, right?
The teachers, because they used to favoritize the female students, they used to get the female students to get the skinny branches. You know why the skinny ones? Because it stings. You know what I'm saying? Because like
you know what I'm saying? Because
it stings. I remember even once, bro. I still remember his name, bro. Mr. Sonam Lama, bro. That guy's a crazy psychopath now I think about it. Bro, he wouldn't, because you know, like let's say you did something wrong, like you get like, all right, 4 slaps or 5 slaps, bro. This guy wouldn't slap. He would push the kids. And mind you, we're 7, 8 years old. So now when I think back to some of these things, I'm like, these guys are psychopaths, bro. Like, and like, I definitely like probably grew up with some trauma from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just getting beat or just like over the randomest shit too. It's weird.
Like rulers.
So, I have a good question for you then, because you see in the contrast, you saw Western school and then you saw school back home, Eastern, I guess East. What would you say is better, the back home schooling or the schooling here in terms of like the discipline side?
Oh, discipline way more there. I mean, I remember just even think about like if you're having conversation with your friends that damn they can't beat you here. Like you know like that's the shit we're talking about. Like yo, they can't hit you here. Even your parents can't hit you, or you can just. I remember my dad was like, "Oh, this kid, you know, this parents beat this kid, and he called the police and like all this shit."
And they took him away.
I heard all this shit. I was hearing all these stories and how like once, even like a kid that called the police, you know, they solved it, and then his dad took him back to India and started beat the shit out of him there. Bro, that shit hilarious, bro.
My mom used to give us extra beating for not telling the police, bro.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's I got way more discipline back home than here. Again, like the schooling was softer here for sure. And the expectations were just so low. Like I feel like there, if you're dumb, they're like, good luck. You know what I'm saying? And then if
you
you're
get
smart,
beat for being dumb, fam.
Yeah, and if you're smart, I remember seeing some kids go 2 grades above me that were in the same grade as me, like the next year, because they were just gifted. You know what I'm saying? So there, I think it's a lot to do with your intellect rather than just your age. You know what I'm saying? Because like, they have standards, and especially schools, good schools, they're private schools, right? So like, you know what I'm saying? Like they maintain their own standards. So it's not like, oh, a school board that's like keeping all this this criteria, whatever. So yeah, that is a huge change for sure.
Crazy.
Bro, I'm trying to think, like imagine, because when you were 8 years old when you came here, you said, right?
Yeah, like about to turn 9, so yeah, 8 years, let's just say 8.
Yeah, like bro, imagine, because we probably remember a lot of things from when we were 8. Like imagine how much he remembers, like the actual difference from like using papers and pencils to write stuff to now you could fucking write shit on your car with your Tesla.
Like, computers we have to share, bro. Computers we have to share. I remember we have to learn. Like we have to. This is how like to give you guys examples of like standards, right? When we learned like computers, we had to memorize the keyboard, QWERT, like all these like things like that, and like you know like all these things. I remember 4 guys sharing one computer. I remember playing Dangerous Dave, Mario in our computers.
Oh,
like
shit.
if you want to use, I don't even think I used the internet when I was in Nepal. I didn't even know about it probably, you know what I'm saying? I remember to use the computer, we used to go to this place called Cybers.
Okay.
So you go there and then you,
like
and then
cafes,
you,
yeah.
and then you rent out like a computer and people would play GTA San Andreas. I remember that was huge.
No way.
Yeah, GTA, that was a huge thing. GTA San Andreas. Different games like that. I remember just seeing the jetpacks when I was younger. But yeah, like even computers, my uncle had a computer and I just used to play games on it. Let's just even practicing typing. Never had the internet, just playing games, going on Notepad, going on Paint, just drawing stuff. That was our entertainment, you know? Yeah.
That was been good times, bro.
Well, so you're born 99 as well?
2000.
2000.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty dope, man. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Now let's dabble into the internet marketing world. How'd you get involved in that?
Yep. So,
well, actually, before we get into that, I want to. Well, let's talk about what you're up to now. And then let's go to the past.
Okay.
Yeah. Like,
Let's
so
do
what
that,
does
sure.
Splashman do like right now? And
Main focus, Mint Ave, with my business partners. That's for me, my involvement is very less compared to what it used to be. And then honestly, huge focus just on my elite email business. And then just growing the personal brand, man. I think those two things, like growing the personal, like I would say just growing my personal brand will just flow every other thing I'm working on.
Yeah.
And the two main things I have is Mint Ave and elite email. And yeah, I'm just kind of all in on that. I have some other side projects. It's more, I more just got involved more for like, my parents, family and stuff. But my emails, man, emails 100%.
and let's quickly, if you had to give like a one-liner, what is Elite Email and what is Mintav?
Mintav is a service. We do email marketing for e-commerce brands, and Elite Email is consulting for email marketing. So I've been doing this since I was 17, writing emails since I was 17, 6 years. So many people are new to the industry and they need guidance, right? And who do you go to than the guy that's been doing it like since he was 17? So
Yeah.
just people always kept on asking me, so I just built the consulting side. So yeah, they're both email related. One's consulting, one's service.
Okay, dope. I bet you get this question a lot, but is email marketing still effective in 2023?
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, just look at yourself, bro. Do you check your emails every day?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, email marketing, like, we're not trying to like convince people, right? Like, we're not trying to, like, it's not effective in the sense of like, you can't send emails to people that don't want to see the emails, right? We're just focused on sending emails to people that actually want to read the emails. Like, even when I was in high school, my mentor Brandon, like, I used to look forward to his emails, right? So it's like, that's what we're like. There's people that still prefer email as a method of communication, and we just use that. You know what I'm saying? If you take out emails, segment, flows, campaigns, if you just look at what it is, it's just another communication tool with your audience, with your customers, potential customers, XYZ, right? So if you look at it in that frame, you realize it's never really dead, right? It's just another, it's a database you own, right?
Of course.
Like Facebook, like Instagram, all these, they can shut you down like this. You make one wrong joke, you say one wrong thing, you're gone, right?
Yeah.
With emails, you own that data, it's yours. And it's also, when you sell your business, like you that's an asset that comes with it. I've had clients that sold their business, and because of the email systems we built up, that definitely increased their valuation.
Of course. So what's a decent open rate then? Because I'm assuming it's
20 to 30%.
20-30%.
Yeah, if you're getting above 30%, you're doing really well. And again, you can do that with proper segmentation. Some of our clients, when we send to the engaged list, it's like 80%, right?
Okay.
And then and then we just have to test different things out. But yeah, just industry standard, 20 to 30%.
Okay.
Again, if you guys actually want to know the specifics, you can even go on, you can search Klaviyo benchmarks, and it'll tell you based on the different industries what should be your benchmarks. If you're in fashion, this is the average open rate. This is the average click-through rate. This is the average dollar per recipient, right?
Solid.
So you can kind of use that to gauge if you are doing good or not.
Solid. Dope. And then again, all respect to your clients and privacy, but are there any some big people you work with that you're comfortable sharing?
One big one is, like, you guys might know, is Fit Tea, because they were one of the biggest, like, I think for one of the first ones to do Instagram influencers. Like, they had Kim Kardashian, Kylie. Remember? That was the original one, the Fit Tea, every influencer.
Every influencer.
So we've worked with Fit Tea.
That's crazy.
Can talk about that. There's a bunch of different brands. Again, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I just don't want to get myself in trouble mentioning.
Of
But
course.
I've also, just worked with a lot of personal brands as well, and people in the e-commerce industry.
Yeah.
Like Tanner, like my mentor, Brandon Carter.
Yeah.
And because Brandon's the one that actually, taught me emails as well.
Yeah.
So I had the opportunity to learn from him and also do email marketing for him. And we've been blessed enough to now, before it was working with a lot of people in the industry, in the community, people that run stores of their own, but now we've been able to work with actual corporations, where the relationship is so much more different, I like it this way.
For sure.
Yo, are there any corporations that you could say?
I honestly just don't want to say. I just don't want to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
You can censor it?
We can censor it.
But even then, it's not you might not even it might be like there's one, that's.
Oh, don't say it if you don't want it. It's fine.
Yeah, because there's, I'll just say, there was one when we started inquiring to work with them. One of my business partner, a girl he was talking to, she knew about it because it was a female product, so she knew about the brand, and that was cool, or I remember once. Oh no, when I was in Dubai, I bought my business partner a oud, a oud, and when I gave it to him, he's like, "I swear to God, our client sells this." And like I was like, that was cool. That was really cool.
Shit.
And when we went to his website, it was there.
That's
I was like,
pretty
that's
sick.
really cool.
That's pretty sick.
I don't know if he's like a third party seller, but that was kind of cool as well.
Yeah,
We've had a lot like this, or even like some of our clients have like we're licensed partners of the NHL, or like licensed for like a specific one of the clients was in 2K, right? Like the brand.
Shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's really cool, man. It's like things like that make it cool. Or like it's always cool to work with like weed brands or like CBD brands too, like which we have.
Can we talk about the sleeping one?
Sweet Dreams.
So
with Sweet Dreams, I don't continuously run the emails. It was more in the beginning when Fez started, he needed some emails.
Right.
And as a favor for a friend, we designed some emails. I'm not too sure if he still uses them. I don't think so. I think he has his own email marketers now. But that was a really cool design case study because the emails were very well. Like, gotta give props to Fez because the branding.
Dope. You know who that is, right?
The branding on Sweet Dreams is so clean.
Yeah.
And I remember when our designers got the assets and Fez told her the vision behind the emails and she executed on it. Those were still some of my favorite emails that were designed from our company.
No, yeah, that guy's actually pretty dope. It's interesting to see what he does as well. Yeah.
Okay.
You got it. Go ahead, bud.
Yo, I was gonna say, now that you've achieved this level of success, you have the money, you're literally bumping shoulders with some legends in the space. What keeps you going? Like, why are you not just fucking off? I just want to blow the money. I don't really care to work anymore.
Well, you just said it. You bump shoulders with people that are doing better, that expose to you that there's more, right?
Yeah.
So when I first started, I thought, $10,000 a month, I'm like, I can do whatever and I'm set for life, right? Mm-hmm. And then you just like, you meet people and then they expand your mind into what's possible, right? Like, I remember, I think it was 2020, when we had lockdowns here, I would go to Miami often. And just being around the different people that I was around, I remember just $1 Million just sounding so like normal and just so like, you know what I'm saying? It's very different. It's the environment for sure, bro. Yeah. It's like, don't get me wrong, man. Like I definitely need to like kind of just remind myself like, like for our age, for whatever we're doing, like, I'm doing well, but like you also like just being in the community, you get reminded that there's people doing 10x, 100x you and if you believe that you have the potential to do so, that you're gonna do it, right? You don't like. I think we all can agree. We like as men, we have a little bit of like a competitive element to us.
For sure.
And when we see someone do something, you're like, I can do it too. Like that pushes you, right? No matter what you have, what you like, no matter what you have and what you've achieved, like you always want to push yourself. Like like I think it's like a thing of just playing sports and even with school, actually, for getting good grades, it was all competition for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I just wanted to be better than other people. You know what I'm saying? And that's what drove me as I don't know if it sounds like evil, like bad or not, but like that's what drove me really, just competition about it.
It's interesting, right? Because like it is ego, right? And I think ego can have a lot of positives as well. I think it's keeping your ego in check. Like for example, I think we all agree like, bro, if I see someone doing something and I look at myself like, like fuck that guy, I could do it better. Like, or I could do that too, right? And it's not like fuck that guy, like, like actually fuck that guy, but it's just like, I know what I can do, and it's just
I'm not any different
competing.
Than that guy. And you're not, and we're not. That's the thing, we're not. You know what I'm saying? Like I know some of the guys doing way better than me. I know the same things as them. The main thing is they just did it. They just did it and they did it consistently. Right. So I can't get mad, right? Like it's like, shit, you guys did the work, you got it. Even though I might know what to do, I didn't do it, so I don't have the results. Like I gotta just hug that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I want to share a story actually, because I remember when I first bumped into your stuff. I don't even know how it was. I think someone reposted or fucking somehow I saw it, right? And I was like, like who is this guy? This guy seems pretty cool. And at first I see you, I think this was when you moved into the ICE condos, and you were just like fucking always going.
What a phase, bro.
We'll talk about that in a bit
too.
But yeah, I remember like I was just always see this guy. I'm like, like how old is this guy? What's this guy doing? And this guy, I think you had a couple wins. You hit like a big number on like monthly revenue, and then you also moved into the condo. And I was like, this guy's pretty sick. And then I was like, this guy's my fucking age. I was like, no fucking way. This is when I first started getting into entrepreneurship as well. And then I remember I took your course.
Yeah, I remember that too,
fucking signed a client within 24 hours. I was like, I was so hyped. I was telling this guy everything. And then fucking, I don't know what happened, but I just didn't like emails. I was like, like I don't want to do this anymore, whatever. And then it's so cool to see everything come in full circle. Cause like, bro, there was genuinely a period where I would look forward to you going on live. I'm like, I just want to hear what this guy says.
No way.
I just want to learn from this guy. And then fucking, it's crazy. Cause then I got my car. And then I remember you actually reposted it and you were like, this is fucking sick. And I was like, it's crazy how everything's in full circle. And literally, I looked at Splashman and I'm like, I could do this too. And like, it's just so nice seeing all these people, even if they're not your age, even if they're younger, older, whatever. But the whole point of this is find someone who's doing something that you like and you could fucking do it too.
No doubt.
And it's crazy. It's so cool to see this too.
I think that's also the balance between ego and humility as well. It's like, yes, having the ego is great to be able to think I could do this as well, but also the humility of like, yo, let me learn from someone who knows how to do this.
For sure.
How many times do we see a guy that I'm not gonna buy the course, I'm gonna learn this on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I've been there, bro.
know?
I've been there. Like even when I first started drop shipping, got my first couple of sales, I thought I knew everything. You know? That was the reason for my demise.
Yeah.
Is my ego, me not wanting to watch the videos that I know would help me, right?
Yeah.
Thinking I know better than some of these guys, and like it really was like one of the early downfalls for me in my early stages was like having that ego of like not willing to learn from someone. And if you feel that way about someone, that's probably someone you should actually be learning from. Is
for sure.
what I've learned just through my experience. And I remember when I heard Hermosi talk about that, it even hit me even more. It was like such a, I'm like, damn, even at that level, he has these thoughts where like the people that you might like feel a certain way about when you see like a little, like just a little bit of jealousy, a little envy, you know? Like you actually should be listening to that instead of avoiding it. You know? And then when I heard Hermosi say that, I was like, wow. You know, that was very powerful to hear someone at that level talk about, you know, the same, like, because who talks about this, right? Like, we don't really, like, these feelings are so foreign. You can't just go talk about this with your friends, right? They'll be like, the fuck you talking about, bro? You have this, you have like, why are you complaining? It's like, right? So, yeah, man, it's just, you're right. It's that balance between both, like having that ego of like, yeah, I can do this, but humility is like, I am willing to learn as well.
And I think another thing is I kind of take it to the extreme, and a lot of people disagree with me when I say people like Hitler, obviously fucking not a good person, but I'd even argue to say there are listen, stay with me there are things you could learn from a guy like Hitler. It's true.
like what?
Yeah, I mean, yo,
like just the wait, fam, the guy's actually a fucking genius.
actually, you know what? That's true. So
he is a genius.
When
fam.
I was in
Again, I'm not saying I support fucking whatever he did, right?
Yeah, of course not.
Obviously,
of course not.
But
So
bro,
all my Jewish friends listening, this is not a reflection of my views. We're just using this for educational purposes. But you're right. I remember one thing I learned when I was in California. He was in Tony Robbins' mastermind.
Okay.
And to make a point about affirmations and incantations, he was talking about Hitler. And he said, when you see Hitler speak, look how he's using his body. It was like, you know, because I asked him about, he was talking about affirmations. He's like, I don't do affirmations, I do incantations. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it's when you put your body into it. You're not just saying, I will be successful. It's like, I will be successful. You know, like you're doing things like that. And he gave me the example of Hitler. You know what I'm saying? And then like he's like, look at his speech. Look how he's speaking. Look at how he's, you know what I'm saying? So for sure, and that's a lesson in itself, right? You can learn from anyone, good or bad. And I think I also learned that from my mentor, Brandon, because I just noticed how curious I remember one of the first times I met him, this is when I was first starting drop shipping. They already have a successful e-commerce brand. You know, he called me over when I was in New York to come to the office, just drop by. And I remember he asked me so many questions. And I remember just like, I felt so good because I'm like, damn, like someone I looked up to is like asking me for my feedback. And like, and I saw that he genuinely listened and he genuinely like wanted to learn and genuinely curious. And like, even till now, you know, he still like does that. Like no matter who it is, he's just willing to learn. And I took that from him for sure.
That's fucking sick. I mean, okay, maybe the Hitler one was, I can see why it's very extreme, but let's look at a modern example. Like a lot of people hate Andrew Tate, but there is without a doubt, you can learn a lot from the guy, right?
For sure.
And a lot of people hate him. Like there's just so many people, they'll be complaining about, oh, Andrew Tate's the M word. You can say the M word, right? Misogynist.
Yeah.
Fucking
Misogyny.
this, that, whatever. Yeah. And
Misogyny.
and meanwhile, the person complaining, he's a cuck. And it's like, buddy, like fucking, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's interesting. And I think,
yeah, you can learn anything from everybody, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And, yeah. Even with the Andrew Tate, it's funny. Like most times, like when you hear like someone hate on him, I'm like, you are an NPC. You're just repeating things you've heard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
I feel the same way about Trump haters too.
a lot. I mean, to put that into perspective, when Trump got elected, I remember posting on my Snapchat story, I wrote, when a joke goes too far, right? I'm like, I remember like think about it. I knew nothing about this. I'm literally an NPC just fucking following the narrative. Right? I remember until like I got a little older where I'm like, wait, why did I automatically just hate this guy? Why didn't I just even take time? And I'm not saying I'm a Trump. I don't even care. We're in Canada. We don't give a shit about Trump, Biden, whatever, right? But it's like I remember just coming into like just that thought pattern and just the open mindedness of like, why did I automatically just hate this guy? Why did I automatically have a stigma with him, right? And then that made me realize like, oh shit, I got to be very careful because you never know. Like, people could be putting thoughts and beliefs in you. And a perfect example of this is people that never left their hometown but have opinions on the world. You know what I mean? Like, it's very interesting because like they'll talk with so much conviction. This is how the world is. this is how it works. But they've never left Toronto, right?
Crazy.
Like, but like until, because I say there's two truths, right? One truth is a truth that's given to you, especially when you're young. Your teachers, your parents, they tell you this is how life is. Hey, don't do that. Hey, you shouldn't do that. Hey, you know, I remember even something that stuck with me when I was in grade 5 as my teacher. I remember something came up and the job said it was $20 an hour, and I remember my teacher saying, $20 an hour, that's amazing, right? So imagine growing up, you're just like, oh yeah, $20 an hour, that's amazing, right? You know what I'm saying? So there's that truth that's given to you, and a lot of these people that like just say things like they don't even know, but that's given to them. They're regurgitating something that's given to them. Yeah, programmed. And then there is a truth that you live, right? Where you actually go somewhere and then you realize, whoa, this is how the world is.
Yes.
Oh, like, and then no one can argue with you, right? Because you're like, how can you argue with me? I experienced it.
Yeah.
So I am very
That's
big
fire.
on only being having absolute conviction on my truth that I've experienced and lived. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong.
That's
I still have my
fucking clip.
moments and I still have my things where I might be, you know, something that was put in my head. I still think that way. And I notice and I catch it sometimes.
Of course.
Wait, why did, you know what I'm saying? Like even with Tesla, bro, I remember one of the main reasons I was so against it is because one of my homies, you know, he just gave me such a negative like perspective on it. But then I never took time to think that, wait, this guy never had a charger at his home and he had to go out and charge all the time. Of course, I can see why he would hate that. And then he drives a lot too. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then I remember just automatically rejecting Tesla. I remember even my, someone close to me said, oh, you should get a Tesla. And I was like, no, why would I get, like literally 2 weeks before I got it, I was telling her, why would I do that? No, this, that, why? And I had to sit down and really think, I was like, wait, actually, no, this car actually makes sense for someone like me that barely drives, barely cares about cars. Always wanted a Tesla, want to support Elon, you know what I'm saying? Like,
shout out Elon.
So like, I still have those moments, but exactly, right? It's like living your truth. And that's why I'm a huge advocate of traveling, experiencing things, especially while you're young, because again, right? Like you go to different parts of the world and you're like, wow, like first there's a lot of similarities, but there's a lot of differences, you know what I'm saying? And it's very cool. And also you cannot learn from reading or just even watching a video, certain feelings. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I remember being in Bali, bro, like seeing like these little kids, bro, they're just like, probably under 5, bro, trying to sell bracelets, you know? And then I remember that actually just hit me like a brick, like, damn, bro. Or even like in Nepal when I went and like the kids that were working at the banquet hall I was at, they were younger than my sister, you know what I'm saying? And like, they were like probably younger than like 14. And I was like, wow, like just that feeling you get of like, damn, bro, I have it good. Like I gotta chill, you know? And then you use that. Like I remember one of the things about living in Icon is the fucking elevators, bro. But then I had to catch myself. I'm like, wow, look how hard life is. So I live on the 49th floor, so that had taken too long. So, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, hold on. Let's talk about the ice condos real quick. Because, so I know you actually lived there. I remember everyone used to talk shit about the ice condos, but I've been there a couple of times, like with B&Bs and whatever, right? I've never had a bad experience until one time I was there like 3 nights in a row. We were on, I don't remember what for, but we had to take the high-rise elevators, right? And fucking the one day we were there, we wake up and I wake up and fucking, bro, I try to go downstairs. I'm like, okay, let me go to my car. I just want to fucking just go for a drive. The fucking power is out. And bro, you can't take the elevators. You have to take the fucking stairs.
Oh, I've done that many times, bro. With my scooter in my hand, running up the stairs, bro. And then go to the high-rise part where I can call the elevator from there instead of the lobby, bro. Like literally, like we have videos, bro. Like,
bro. I remember. I think one of the funniest, because I watched one of your vlogs before, and the funniest clip I've seen of you is, it turns to Splashman, and Splashman goes, "My building is run by fucking retards."
That's true.
And I fucking lost it because it was so funny. It was so unexpected. But no, bro, I remember the ice condos too. It just has such like a negative
stigma
connotation. Yeah, stigma.
I'll say there's a reason for so, right? And I'll give the context on how I even got to the ice condos. So when 2019 summer, I was ready to move out, and then my one criteria, man, I do not know. Like this is what I mean, man. Like it's like young, and I'm very grateful I went through these experiences that taught me this. All I cared about was a really nice CN Tower view.
I remember.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I cared about.
Yeah.
So, bro, I got rejected for 5 places. You can only imagine 19. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy, how is he getting this money?
Yeah, when you were searching for like 6 months too, right?
Bro, also summer, and I got my place like Boxing Day, bro. So think about that, right? So like just fall so getting rejected. Oh my God, like. And then I remember applying for one of the ice condos thing, and then the owners were Hindu, and they were like close. They lived close to me in Brampton.
Oh,
and then when they called me, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think they saw my name as well, you know, and my name is like, it's named after like one of the characters in, or one of the people from the Mahabharata, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Actually, like, it was a really cool context on my name I'll give later as well. But, and I think, you know, that's why they accepted me, even though I was so young. And bro, I put 6 months, like I put 6 month deposit down. Damn. And like for all the time did that as well, and I still got rejected. So it was like such a desperation move. I was like, yes, you know what I mean? It's like, finally got something, I'm gonna do it. And like it was a lesson, man. I learned a lot about like, you know, where I want to live, like what I care for, what I look for when I live somewhere. And I take these lessons with me. And I would say I'm very grateful. I got very lucky because 2.5 months in, COVID happened. And the building was actually normal. For like genuinely, because you couldn't do Airbnbs, right?
Yeah.
One of the main reason you shouldn't live in ICE condos is because you're allowed to do Airbnbs in any building. There's only select buildings in Toronto that allow Airbnb, and don't ever live there because it will be hard for you to live there, right? It's because there's too much foot traffic going on, so the elevators are always busy.
Yeah.
There's just too much, like there's so much, you know what? When you live in a building, you want that community vibe where you recognize the people. You recognize the people that live in the building. You see familiar faces, right? And bro, elevator speed so important, man. So important for me, man. Because nothing worse than like just, bro, having to go down knowing that it's gonna be a 20-minute journey if I have to go down and come back up. Like,
bro,
it could be that.
The worst part is you walk into the lobby and like, you know, I think it's 14. Were you at 14?
I was at 14, yeah.
You know when you like fucking go to the first glass doors and there's like the sliding one? When you go around the corner and you just get fucking packed.
Oh, man.
And you're like, oh man,
my
long day,
God, bro,
long day. And then bro, if you're in the high rise, or no, the low rise one only has 2, or is it 3 as well?
No, both have 3, but the thing was one was
would always never work.
Always never
Yeah, the one on the far right,
and then there are certain times it'll be 2. So imagine all these floors, almost 40 some floors of people just in and out all the time. One elevator, bro,
and like some like around the pandemic time when there was also the social distancing bullshit.
My God.
So there's only 3 people per elevator.
Bro,
Holy
the fight I had, tell you a crazy story.
Fuck.
I've been waiting for 5 minutes. Finally get the elevator. I just walk. It's this guy trying to stop me like this. I just walk in, right? I'm not wearing my mask either. He's like, "Oh, you're not wearing your mask." He like starts trying to open the elevator. Like, you should get out. And then like it stops one more time. And he's like, "Yo, get out." Bro, I was already having such a bad day. And then I just looked at him. He's like, "You're gonna make me get out? You're gonna make me get out?"
You punch his face off.
No,
bro.
no, I didn't say anything, but I was so having bad. I'm like, "Bro, you're gonna make me get out?" Like, "Bro, I live here, bro. Don't disrespect me like that." And his wife's like, "You can get fined." I'm like, "Who's gonna fine me? You?" Bro, again, I should not have dealt with the situation the way I dealt with it. But I was so angry and I was so impatient. And it's like, bro, first of all, who the hell are you to tell me? I already knew this shit was a scam. So you know what I'm saying? I didn't give a shit. I'm not wearing no mask, whatever. I was like, "Oh, you gotta wear a mask. You can get fined." I'm like, "All right, fine me, please. Go call the police." I literally told him, "Call the cops." I literally said, "I'm gonna complain to you." Go for it. Go do it. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's I know you mentioned Tate a little bit, but I grew up very shy, very timid, very just like anxious, scared of the world. But I think Tate made me just be comfortable in my skin. You know what I'm saying? Where I was like, I ain't taking shit from people because like I don't have to. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
And again, the way that I handled that situation, not the best. 20-year-old kid, you know, I just had a horrible day just starting my morning. And that, like, you probably just didn't want to be in my face that day, you know, like, because I was just already going through a lot. But yeah, man, ice condos, funny times indeed.
That's a legendary place.
We're talking about the condo application. You mentioned your name is Hindu, significant Hindu origins for that name. Are you a religious guy?
Yeah, man, I'm religious. Like, I have my own way. I have my beliefs in my own way. So very interesting. I was raised Hindu in Nepal, and when I came to Canada, I don't know if it was a lot of these things we're going through, bro. But I just stopped believing. You know, I was an atheist. I was an agnostic in the sense of like I didn't care.
Believe in God, yeah.
I didn't care. I didn't care if it was real or not. I'm just like, bro, I don't. And I would say as well, man, it was forced to me. You know what I'm saying? I was never inspired. No one took time to inspire me.
Yeah.
It was so forced. Yeah. You must do this. We have to do this. This. You know what I'm saying? And I recently reconnected with my faith like 8 to 10 months ago, like fully. You know, through a psychedelic experience. Funny enough, and even it's you know I'm just getting closer and deepening my faith. And yeah, and you know I have my own beliefs. I respect every religion. I try and Actually, it was world religion in grade 11 because I went to a Catholic school.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too, man. Like even when I went to a Catholic school, bro, I wasn't inspired. I felt everything was so forced. And to me, it's like it's like the rebel in us, right? The same reason we wouldn't wear the mask. It's like you're like you must do this. Like saying, no, what the I must not do anything. You know what I'm saying? And but the way I got back into it, like, you know, in my own timeline where I was inspired when everything made sense to me.
Yeah.
And I like to study every religion because I like to take the good and what relates to me.
Yeah.
And whatever doesn't relate, I don't listen to. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
And I respect Hinduism. I respect I respect every religion. I think that there's everything to learn. You know,
Lots of benefits.
Yeah, I've been to a Shabbat dinner with like Jewish friends in South Africa. I've been to
sick.
mass. You know, just being in Catholic school, go to the, temple all the time. I've been to Gurdwara, like Buddhist temples. Like I'm very open minded. I'm always willing to learn. I just don't like anything that's forced upon me.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? It's just
Fair.
it does not feel
Not your
natural.
nature.
It doesn't feel real.
Fair.
Wait, what's a Gurdwara? What's that?
Gurdwara for Sikh.
For Sikhs. Oh, okay,
Sikhs,
word.
yeah.
Okay, now talk us through the psychedelic journey. Why'd you embark on that?
So the first time I heard about psychedelics was when my friends, actually no, first time I heard about psychedelics or shrooms was Family Guy, when Brian takes shrooms during traffic light and trips out so hard that he cuts his ear off. So imagine that. Do you remember that episode, bro?
I remember that episode.
Yeah,
No
so
way.
imagine that's your perspective just from cartoons. And then when I was in my senior year of high school, one of my friends, he texts me, he's like, yo, bro, I took LSD and it changed my life. Automatically, I'm like, this guy's a crackhead. Because I don't know anything, right? And then one day we're at Starbucks and then my friend, this is when I'm like reading a lot. I'm reading books like Ego is the Enemy and I'm thinking about things like, ego and like just all that. And then my friend, we were all at a Starbucks and the same person that said he took LSD, like he was showing us so much he was educating us, you know what I'm saying? He didn't force us.
Yeah.
Inspired us just to look into it. And I got so curious. And for months, I just did my research on it. And I did shrooms and LSD before I ever smoked weed, before I even cared to drink alcohol, bro. You know what I'm saying? I remember homecoming, in my freshman year, bro, I bought a 6-pack of Corona. I just gave it all to my friends. I was like, bro, I never drank, but I was so into psychedelics. And I will say my first couple of experiences, they got me in touch with, I think, just my pure self. And then it also made me more grateful and unlocked a lot of emotions. I think like my friends used to tell me before that as well, I used to be very robotic. They thought that if we weren't talking about business or like self-development, like I wouldn't want to talk to them. I would get angry. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just so like
Dialed.
machine. Like I was like a machine, bro. Like no emotions, bro. I promise you, bro. I don't remember ever crying. Maybe when I was a kid from before I took psychedelics, even when like I lost close ones, I remember I don't know what it was. It just, I never, but after that, like I felt empathy for the first time.
Okay.
I remember the first time I took acid, December 9th, 2018. Right? I remember all these dates, bro. I felt grateful for the first time. Like I remember, Gary Vee always says, be grateful, gratitude. And you force yourself to say, yeah, I'm grateful for this. But I remember like feeling grateful, just walking from, and not just when I'm on it, like after that, right? Where I'm walking from my class back to my condo and I'm like, just getting this burst of happiness for no reason. And I'm like, wow, like feeling so happy. And,
for sure.
I had more experiences after that. And the very significant ones were October 25th, 2020. It's so significant that I have this like vision board type thing. And then I write my current story and my future story. And what's funny is actually when I was 18, I did that. And a lot of my future story is my current story now, and I can even show you guys later. But in my current story right now with that document that I have, that is there because it was so, I write October 25th, 2020, born again as new self. Because during that phase, bro, 2020, bro, I was making money. I just decided to live in Miami, bro. And I was just declining as a person, just a lot of bad habits, just addicted to substances, a lot of, and just going through that experience, man, I just came out just like a whole new person, just all these new perspectives and like gratitude. And like, I remember the trip first started of me just looking at my life in such a negative light, right? And like, I'm like, damn, my relationship with my family sucks. My friends, man, like, tomorrow I'm going to wake up and it's just going to be the same. I almost went crazy until I remember I called one of my friends and I was telling him, I was doing everything to make myself feel good, like listening to music, try to watch videos, and I couldn't. I was going like genuinely going insane, bro, just thinking that I lived the worst. Genuinely, my perspective was I lived a horrible life, right? And then I called one of my homies, I'm like, bro, I'm like freaking out, bro. Like, and then he picked up and he's like, yo, everything good? And I was so fucked. I couldn't even speak back to him. So I just told him, like, bro, because I'm like, you know, it can't be a conversation where I'm just listening and I can't even say anything back. So I was like, bro, like, I'm just gonna listen to music. I'll feel better. And then in that moment, the thought that came to me was like, wow, man, I have some people in my life that are just willing to be there for me when and I just started thinking about love and all the unconditional love. Because, yo, you guys can agree, when you get into like this world and when you start putting yourself out there, you receive a lot of fake energy and fake love. Sure. And that moment, I started just focusing on all the real unconditional love from people that just love me for who I am, not because what I have, not because what I do. And bro, my mind shift changed. And you know, just I was looking at everything in a negative light. Then I started looking at everything in the positive. I'm like, wow, I'm only 20. I don't have to go to school. Yeah. Man, like me and my family, we used to, you know, worry about the smallest, you know, like smallest financial things. We don't have to do that anymore. Like, you know, I'm like, I have such good people around me. I don't have to work a job. Like, I'm so young. Like, and I looked everything in such a positive life, and it taught me so many things. Like, bro, everything is perspective.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even to like the minuscule of like how you look at things, right? Like, if you feel bad, it's actually on you because you are choosing. And then I noticed things like everything's a choice. Like, everything's a choice, right? It's like how you look at things, what you do is like, and I was like, damn, if I feel bad, that means I'm choosing to look at things in a bad way. It's making me feel bad. All these little different perspectives, bro. I remember even calling my homie, bro, like just telling him like, bro, I feel like I just like swallowed the blue pill. Like I can never go back. Like I escaped the matrix. I realized, damn, like how much I get hold back by caring about what other people think. Or I realized that was the real matrix where you're stuck into this loop of like what other people think and like, you know, all these things. Yes. And that trip was so good and it really changed me. And then since then, you know, and people might be like, oh, you know, you're promoting drugs and you have an addiction. No, I love it so much. I do it once or twice a year. Fair. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
it. Just once or twice a year.
Yeah, because like, if you abuse it, like it's a tool. I don't look at it as a drug. I look at it as a tool.
Fair.
Like it's on a getaway.
And it's a feeling when I know I'm ready. You know, when I know I can go and embark in the new journey. You know, and then the last proper one for me was in of November, where like I had such like, you know, crazy experiences that like I found myself, you know, finding God. It was crazy, man. Like, yeah. And then just like realizing stuff, man. Like I just broke down crying, just asking for forgiveness. Yeah. But also just thanking some higher power. Yes. And this for the first time I understood what it meant to be a God-fearing human being. Yes. You know, of like, because I never understood that. I remember Iman also had a clip, Iman Godzi, where he was like, I would never work with anyone that's an atheist. Yeah. And I remember before that experience, I was like, you know, I respect people that I was like 80% believe, 20%. So like, but, and then I was just thinking, I'm like, why would he say that? Like, you know, it's such a interesting, it's weird. But then after that, I'm like, I understood why. I understood like a lot of these concepts that I was told, but I never like really fully grasped. And then, you know, just like, and again, new perspectives, bro, just realizing, damn, I've been living my dream life. I just make myself miserable, you know, just like overstressing and overthinking. And yeah, man, just very like psychedelics. It's a tool. If you don't abuse it and use it correctly in the right environment. I've seen people that grew up in the worst environment that were suicidal, that after they did psychedelics told me things like, I don't have time to be sad. Life is so beautiful. Yes. Because that's the interesting thing about psychedelics is it opens your trait openness, right? It opens you like to a whole new world.
Once you have that trait openness, you could accept religion, accept your feelings. A lot of these things that society's programmed you to do, and if you closed off and shut off, it's like it opens these branches, right? Even the consumption of mushroom, not even the psychedelic portion, on a regular basis opens neural pathways in your mind. Sure. I've actually never done a proper psychedelic before. I've always been studying for literally years, but it's just interesting to see. I personally haven't went through extreme sadness or extreme depression. I feel like I've been generally connected to my spiritual self. That's why I haven't hence dabbled. Yeah. But for someone who's been struggling, like you're saying, who feels like they're an NPC, they don't feel emotions, they can't learn new things, this is a great tool to use. And I love how you said you're doing it once or twice a year, because like, oh, that's crazy. Because I know guys who like, what happens is there's two extremes. Either they don't want to do drugs, or it's like every day. And like now instead of being productive, they're doing nothing but getting high off shrooms. Yeah. That could be dangerous as well.
And bro, one of the funniest things you said at the start was, I remember like based off of actual statistics, I do decent in the stock market when I long-term invest, right? And I remember two of my boys, there's nothing wrong with them, right? They're fucking cool. I love them. They're my friends. But they weren't an entrepreneur. They didn't have that like money making mindset. I remember they told me when they're like, yo, Radies, like we do shrooms like here and there. Like you should do it. You'll pick out the next big stock. And I'm like, what a fucking idiot. I'm like, how are you going to tell me I should fucking take a, literally, I'm like, you're telling me to be a crackhead so I can pick a better stock. Like, and I remember I judged them so heavily. And then I realized like, okay, if everyone, not everyone, but if a lot of people are talking about the benefits of it, surely there has to be some sort of good.
Sure.
And I think it's taking away the good. And I also like how you mentioned I think you said the vision board, because this is actually a funny story. Recently, I found like one of my old journals in 2020. I think I journaled every single day, and I also had an old vision board. And there's a couple things I had in there. One was a Burberry shirt. I don't know why, but fucking, I think. Do you know the rapper Casper? Casper, he made a song called Burberry Closet, and I was like, yo, I don't know, I've never heard this brand before, but it actually looks fucking sick. And I was like, yo, that Burberry shirt, I want it. So I put it on my vision board. There was a Macaj jacket, my car, and even in my journal, every single day after I journaled, I would write down, I want the Tesla, or no, I think I wrote down like some sort of way where it's like I already have it. So the Tesla Model 3, and it was, bro, this is gonna blow your mind. So specifically, 20,000 followers, which is fucking crazy because the big number I hit was 20,000 YouTube subscribers. And I was like, the accuracy in that is fucking crazy. And then another one was 10K a month. And then after I cleared 10K a month, like all these things, I didn't realize I got them, but I had already wrote about them.
Yeah, bro.
And I was like,
Wow.
what the fuck?
That's actually big.
That's
So
powerful,
You're
man.
spitting facts because I remember I would do something very similar, journal every day and have these thresholds.
Yeah.
And then when I did hit these goals, it's one of those things where like, it didn't feel crazy. Like I always thought like when I fucking hit 10K a month or when I get the car, when I get the girl, it's like, it's gonna be big. But it's one of those things where like in my mind, I already felt like I had it the whole time.
Yeah.
Right? Which it's very, very powerful.
100%,
Bro, it's nuts.
Exactly
It's
what you
actually cool.
said. Like, bro, you forget that you even wrote it down, and then years later
it
you
becomes
go back to it and you're
part of
like,
your life.
wow, like damn, I actually did that. And
Yeah.
it actually came through. And I have things I wrote when I was 17. Like, I love that my marketing agency makes me a living. Like, I didn't even have a marketing agency then, you know?
That's fucking
I remember
nuts.
Grant Cardone. I learned that from Grant Cardone, where you write your goals as if you already achieved them.
Yeah.
I mean, I've moved out. I dropped out of Ryerson. I traveled the world. Did exactly that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, things like that. And then when I look back, I was like, yo, I did this. I'm like, yo, like, you know, my parents don't have to struggle this, that, whatever. Like, and yeah, it's very powerful. And to your point, bro, that's what I learned. Be very careful with what you ask in the sense of big or small. You know what I'm saying? Because you see, you said the specifics, right? I've had this in every area of my life where like the things was so specific that it was scary.
It's fucking
And
nuts.
then it made me realize I gotta be very careful with my words.
Oh, yeah.
Very careful with my words, because like it will come true. You know what I'm saying? It will come
that's
true.
the thing, bro. You can manifest good and bad.
Yeah.
Because, crazy story too. I remember when we were fucking on top of the fucking moon, literally and figuratively in the crypto world. I remember I'd keep telling Mom, there's something about me that's feeling unhappy. And I could tell Mom, like, yo, everything's going good. Everything's going good. If this is just like a movie, it's only going to be a downfall. I swear to God. You remember that, yeah? And I said it to him a couple times. And it's almost like I was manifesting that everything I made is going to get taken away. And it was crazy because it was the other day I saw Tate saying that to Tristan. That apparently 2 weeks before they got arrested, he was in Dubai and he's telling his brother, like, yo, everything's good. We got to stay protected. Something bad's going to happen. It's almost like when you get success,
You kind of sense it.
we're almost like, I feel like we manifest the
It's,
downfall.
it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, man.
But you know what's crazy? I feel like this is also from programming.
Yeah.
The movies and stuff. Like
like
life
a
is
up
not
and
a
down.
movie. Like it doesn't have to be up and down. It could be
Yeah,
a straight
yeah.
upward progression, right? But we're just so programmed that everything's going good. I'm so happy right now. There must be a down coming, right? But it's also this is the programming side, but I think this is also an emotional side. How are you gonna feel your next high if you don't have a low?
That's also a fact. Sam
Bro,
Alvin
imagine
talks
if you
about
just
that a
high all
lot.
the time.
You need your lows, bro.
You need
Yeah,
your
yeah.
lows.
Bro, this past week has been a pretty, a little low, but bro, just this week alone, man, like 2 weeks ago I was 190. Now I'm 178. You know what I'm saying? I got closer to my faith.
Yeah.
I've been more on top of my diet. I've been more on top of my work.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have happened if I had reached a low that like kind of woke me up.
Yes.
And bro, we can always look back at some of our lowest moments. In the short term, it's very hard to see why this is happening because you're so filled by emotion and logic goes out the window. But we can all agree that we can look back at some of our lowest moments, and when you look at it in a long-term perspective and a time frame, you're like, wow, that was such a crazy pivotal moment. You know, I
Yeah, you
remember
needed it almost.
in high school, bro, like I remember having such a like down moment, but that's what led me to go to the gym. That's what led me to start doing business stuff. And like, I remember one thing. I have, everyone says everything happens for a reason. I have my own theory behind that. I say everything happens for a reason. You have to let time tell you why it happened. You know, it might be weeks, it might be months. Bro, one thing for me, it was 6 years. 6 years later, I was sitting down on my couch and I was like, wow, this is why this thing 6 years ago didn't work out. Bro, 6 years. And that really just hit me. I'm like, wow, bro, like, wow. Like, you know, and then that's why, even though, like, you know, don't get me wrong, in the short term, the emotions are so heavy and it's like, it's almost a little blinding to logic, but that's what keeps me in mind is like, yo, time heals and time will tell.
Bro, here's another interesting one. So I remember when I was, I think like 12 or 13, I was making fucking Minecraft YouTube videos.
Yo,
and
that's so jokes me too.
And I remember, bro, fucking, I had a conversation with my aunt. It was after dinner, and I was telling her, I was like, again, I was a kid. I was like, oh, like, there are people making money on YouTube. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a YouTuber. And she was just sitting there like, yeah, okay, kid. Let him fucking do his thing. Then when I was 14, I wrote a letter to my future self.
Wow.
I remember I told myself, I'm going to be a YouTuber. I'm going to have X amount of subscribers and get X amount of views. And again, when I was actually doing those things, I don't think I actually like thought. I was a kid, right? I was I was writing shit to write shit,
You're
right?
just saying things, yeah.
And it's so fucking crazy because now actually being a full-time YouTuber, like I can trace back to these times and I'm like, yo, like this happened. Like I actually made this happen.
For sure.
And another thing is Sam Ovens, back to the opposites. He literally says, how do you know if you're feeling hot if you know what cold feels like? How do you know what happy feels like if you don't know what sadness feels like?
Big facts.
50 Cent has a bar, bro. Like sunshine wouldn't be special if it wasn't for rain.
Yeah. Like, literally. And bro, shout out to Sam Ovens because that guy's a fucking G as well.
Even that vision board, that current story, it's all from Sam Ovens.
Yeah.
A lot of
the week 2 fucking.
Bro, week 2. Anyone listening, week 2 of Sam Ovens. Best personal development content out there. It's so good that a lot of people in the industry, they've bit his shit and called it their own. You know what I'm saying? No names. I ain't saying names, but some of the top
you want to
guys
say a name, bro? You can say a name, bro.
I'm not going to say names.
I want you to say a name, bro.
Because I know these people and I'm going to run into them and I don't want to have an awkward moment just in case. But I know people, bro, so many of these, I'm just like, bro, because when you watch it, you're like, bro, regurgitating this shit. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll take his elements or they'll change the name to it. It's funny.
Bro, another thing is with Sam Ovens, I remember there was a period of time where just at week 2 would be pirated. And there's Google Drives, bro. Everyone would just dish it out like, yo, week 2, listen to this.
Yeah.
Bro, I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't pay for that shit, but I fucking watched it like a couple times. Crazy. It's fucking fire. And he also, bro, he talks about quantum physics at one point.
Bro,
he talks about like feedback loops. Like fucking thing. Like I'm sitting here like, okay, quantum physics. And I go ask someone who's doing physics.
Consulting.
Yeah. I'm like, buddy, like what the fuck, what are we talking about here? And here's the craziest thing, bro. Go ask any science kid, who is Schrodinger? What is Schrodinger's cat? And they don't fucking know. And I'm like, buddy, like, do you not learn quantum physics? Like, yeah. Like, but I don't remember anything I learned. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it's fucking nuts. And just the way he teaches everything, it's so sick.
NPCs. God.
Let's talk a bit about. I actually really like this conversation. Yeah,
I do like this conversation, but I think let's go a bit more lighthearted, man. I think we've been going serious. Let's talk about some. You travel the world, man. I'm sure you have some fucking crazy stories, funny stories. Let's have a little bit of a story time.
Yeah, I remember Splash said the hottest girls are in Medellin.
Hottest girls are where?
In Medellin.
Colombia, yeah, for sure.
Colombia.
For sure. Yeah, you guys, funny story on that. Before,
how many girls you fucked there, bro?
Huh? Yo, wildin', bro. 0. The answer is 0. You know what I'm saying? 0. Zero.
No, Splash from my friend's cup. He's a loyal guy.
Yeah, nah. I actually never like been on a dating thing. You know what I'm saying, just been on one relationship. My current one. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's fucking amazing, bro.
And before I went to Colombia, all my friends were like, yo, Colombian girls. Wow. Even my personal trainer at that time, bro, married man, he's like, yo, Colombia, wow, girls. And I was like, bro, I get it. Like, you know, we're in Toronto, we'd see beautiful girls, right? The minute I landed, I texted all of them. I'm like, damn, I did not know this is what you guys were. Bro, I swear to God,
no way.
Our maids were beautiful. Everyone that served us was beautiful. You'll see an old guy with his wife, and his wife was just so, like, I was like, wow. And I remember even posting on my story, and I got in a little trouble from some of my friends that are girls. I remember writing, I don't know how I'm going to take any Toronto girls seriously.
Damn.
After Colombia, and they're like, oh, you're such a dickhead, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, it's true. Like I can't take shit from you when I know like you ain't even that shit. Like, yo. No disrespect, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like, chill.
Yo, dude, you're saying even the homeless women are bad?
Okay, let's stop there. If they're probably not homeless.
Yeah, that's your type, right?
If they're hot, they're probably not homeless, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of things are normal there, right? So,
fair.
But yeah, Colombia, like, you know, that's just one experience, man. I would say Tokyo is number 1, and whatever number 2 would be, there's a huge gap, bro.
Wow.
Tokyo was that good. It was
fucking
It was one of the first times in my life I had hope in humanity.
No way.
Swear to God. And I was sitting beside an expat, like a American Army member, because I flew from Minnesota, so Toronto to Minnesota, Minnesota to Tokyo.
Okay.
And this guy told me, he's like, when you go back to America, you're gonna think that everyone's an asshole. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, the people are just so nice there. And bro, when I was there, man, you know, I'm not the biggest anime fan, so I didn't really get to like, you know, geek out and get to enjoy that, like that thing that a lot of my friends would probably enjoy.
No tentacles.
I love food, and I love. This guy kills me.
Not like eating tentacles, you know, like
You're crazy.
fam. They eat tentacles, sound like octopus, like squid tentacles. They actually eat that shit.
octopus, like calamari.
Wait, what do you think I meant by tentacles?
Bro, you're a wild boy.
Yeah,
Bro.
I just asked a question,
no,
fam.
Don't talk to me, fam. Just chill, bro. You're wild, bro. You're a wild
I asked
boy.
what you think about tentacles. You
You're a
started
wild
laughing.
boy, bro. But
You're a wild boy, bro.
yo, what actually made me love with Tokyo the most was the people, bro. Like genuinely, like I remember something as simple as like my family friend that came to pick us up, and he just left his bike on the street, and he's like, yeah, in Tokyo we don't like lock our bikes because no one steals it.
Fuck yeah.
And then he said, if you lose your wallet in the train, there's a 95% chance that you'll get it back.
Wow.
The other 5% is if a non-Japanese person took it.
Wow.
You know, and then just everything, bro, just how amazing they were. Something as simple as I take this, right? You know, in an escalator, one side you're supposed to stand, one side you're supposed to walk.
Yeah.
There, if they want to stand, they're not going to be a dickhead and stand in the walking area. They will wait in, if there's a line in the standing area and it's long, they will wait in line to stand instead of be a dickhead and just stand in the walking area, you know?
Wow.
Something as simple as that tells you everything about a society. And bro, I felt like that was one of the only times in my life where I was at the airport and I was a little sad that I was going home because I loved it that much, you know? And I've been very blessed through just like, you know, my dad set that up because one of his friends is a Nepalese billionaire. And he's a family friend of ours. And during March break, he flew me and my sister out. And then we got to spend, a week in Tokyo. And, and we're just accommodated, you know, with this private driver. We stayed in an apartment with a view of Mount Fuji.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like a lot. We did so many cool things, man. We got to go to the, you know, like the mountain resort. He actually owned a resort there, so we went to a resort there. It was
Casual.
It was such an amazing experience. Yeah, very, very amazing. I met amazing, like really dope people that when I went back to Nepal that, you know, like I was really cool with. So yeah, I love Tokyo, man. There's so many places, man. Like Dubai shocked me too. Like, you know what shocked me about Dubai was that I was surprised that it was safe. And that made me reconsider living in the West because I'm like, why are we paying these taxes? How are we in the first world? Right? We pay these taxes, we pay these high prices, but safety's not a thing.
Okay, so let me ask you.
Crazy.
There's like a trend that goes around where like, oh, like you could leave your phone in the da-da-da-da. That's actually true?
I saw a Patek. Someone went to take a piss, took his Patek off, left it in the sink, went to take a piss. Wow. I swear to God, bro. Swear to God. I never felt safer, bro.
Yo, okay, so give us like a top 5.
That's fucking nuts.
Bro, but that's the thing, bro. Like, why are we shocked that that's a normal thing? You know, like, well, we shouldn't be, right? Like, we should be living in a society where that should be
show the
normal.
camera the watch real quick.
Especially with the taxes that we pay in Canada.
That's fucking
like we
nuts.
shouldn't be, you know, like, don't want to give the details, but the other day, one of my friend's car got stolen. And when he went to the cop, you know what the cop said to him?
It's common right now.
You live in Brampton.
No.
Wow.
The guy didn't say anything about it. He said, you live in Brampton.
Wow.
Bro, what is going on? Like, what kind of
fucked.
society is this, bro?
That's fucked.
You know what I'm saying? And,
Bro,
and
so you're telling me Tokyo was just like Dubai too? Because I never heard this.
Yeah, yeah.
about
Yeah,
Tokyo.
I've never heard that either.
So
I
you're
heard
telling
they're
me
well-mannered
if
and
I
everything?
took my whatever and just left it, no one's gonna jam in?
yeah, bro,
Apple.
very low
Wow.
likeliness to be, bro.
Yo, so okay, give us like a list because you're well traveled. Give us a list of like your top 5 cities that you've been to or countries that you've been to.
Jeez, I would say these will be for me because my experience depends on the people I know.
Okay.
Cape Town is a huge one because I built such a great
South
network
Africa.
there. And one of the reasons I'm going to Miami as well is some of my Cape Town friends, actually the Jewish family that I went to the Shabbat dinner with, they're coming down to Miami. And it was like a perfect opportunity to like take my team and also just link up with them because Cape Town is I'll go there every year, you know. It may not be the safest, you know what I'm saying, but it's beautiful and like just the experience I have there, I cherish it so much.
Yeah.
I love Miami as well, but the thing is my Miami trips are very different than people's like what they think it is, right? I actually ever since I turned 21, I've never been to a club in the US. I don't care to. Like I'm not a club guy. I got through that phase when I was 19 here, you know. I love Miami just because like there's so many people from the e-commerce marketing community all live there. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's really cool. It's really cool to just link up with them. My mentor lives there too now. And just like being in a tropical area. I love it, bro. It's really dope.
Right. So if you'd have to move, where would you go?
I would say I need to explore more of the world before I make a decision like that. But Dubai really stood out to me because of the taxes.
Yeah.
Also the safety. And then I'm also, bro, with Dubai, you're pretty much a direct flight to anywhere in the world, right?
That's a
So
fact.
in the summertime when it's super hot, just go to Cape Town. I'm from Nepal, 4-hour, 3-hour flight to Nepal. You know, like direct flight to Toronto, direct flight to anywhere in Europe, right? So that's why I really like Dubai, and I'll probably prefer Dubai, man. To be honest.
Because when we had Tanner on the podcast, he was telling us the whole thing. Hermosi says like, don't pick a place just for tax benefits. Try to make more, yada yada yada. And I'm like, sure, it makes sense, but I think there's more to that. Obviously, climate matters, religion matters. You know,
The vibe, you
The
know, like,
vibe.
it has to be very based on you. That's another lesson in life, right? So many people are so fixated on like listening to other people. Like, you know, a lot of people ask you questions just to like I don't know, for you to hear from your mouth, but like it's all has to be custom to you, right? Like
For sure.
the best hiring tips I can give you is for me, like, cause I want to run my business a certain way. I have different values, different goals, different way I do things, right? So the perfect employee for me might be the worst for you.
That's true.
Vice versa.
That's
So
actually
in the
true.
same way, it's like, you know, I can tell someone, oh, I moved to Dubai, but like, what if you don't
What if
like
you
a
don't-
hot
yeah.
climate? What if you don't like X, Y, Z, right?
For
So
sure.
and
What
that's
if you
why
don't
even
like safety?
Yeah,
You
that-
You don't like Muslim
What
people.
if you like to rob people, bro?
what if you like
Yeah.
to pay so much taxes on anything you buy? You know, like when you go out to eat, it's pretty much of 30% tax because the tip is auto now. No matter if you like the service or not, and then 13% on top. You know what I'm saying? Like that, right? Like things like that, bro. It makes you like. Bro,
makes you think.
honestly, man, I love Canada. It has provided me with every opportunity. Everything I have is because I came to Canada at a young age. But I think we can all agree that the Canada that we grew up in is not the same Canada now.
100%.
You look at some of the people that are coming to Canada now, their life is very different.
Oh, 100%.
It's
That's what I'm
you know,
saying.
that's why I'm so grateful
Poverty's
for my
up the
parents.
roof right now. in
Yo, and
Canada,
bro, not only that, like people used to look at Canada as like, okay, there's actually opportunity here. You can
Opportunity,
actually
yeah.
like go somewhere by coming to this country, especially as an immigrant, right? I feel like now that's slowly fading away.
For sure.
And I think it's fading away at an exponential rate as well. Yeah, so here's a crazy statistic. I think the last quarter or month, I could be wrong, we had the most amount of immigration in Canada or Ontario. Is that, can someone fact check this? Is this true?
I think
maybe I fucking
honestly,
fucked it up.
probably
I know in
true.
Alberta
Yeah.
that's a fact.
I know
for
in
sure.
2023 for sure. You know what I'm saying?
There
We
we
say
go.
that. 2023 for sure.
Let's actually, okay, we weren't supposed to, this wasn't in our doc, but let's actually quickly talk about this. Are you guys seeing what the fuck is going on in France right now?
France.
Word,
The
yeah.
riots and
I
stuff?
don't know much about it. I know.
neither.
I just see some videos of them wilding.
No, but have you seen, okay, what videos have you seen? Because I'm gonna tell you guys some fucking funny.
RPG to the police station, libraries
Wow.
burning. It's
France.
RPG to police station.
Fam, so they freed zoo animals. So fam, wallahi, I'm not even capping. If you go on the streets of fucking, I don't know if it's Paris or Toulouse, somewhere in France, you will literally see gorillas. You will
I
see
think I saw,
lions.
yeah, lions.
Fam,
Why? Why
lions.
is this?
So okay, so basically what happened is there was a 17-year-old who was shot and killed by the police.
Oh, shit.
And so basically the riots are going on for him, but now there's so much politics going on, and a lot of people are saying the people that are actually rioting, are they actually people that are French, or are they more immigrants that are just causing fuckery to the country?
Yeah.
And now they're having a whole crisis because in the EU they have an open immigration system, as well as in the EU, like you can cross through borders, no issue, no passports, whatever. So there's literally, you can see so many people fighting against the police. You literally see, fam, imagine, bro, you're fucking driving down fucking McCowan and you see a fucking lion on the road. That's actually happening.
That's horrible.
There's also
That's crazy.
That's horrible.
There's a funny video where this is so fucking stupid. There was like a Sprinter van.
Batman.
Yeah. Did you see this? Did you see the Batman video? Prime, a Sprinter van. They opened the back of it. Literally like fucking 15, 20
guys
people
deep.
dressed as Batman fucking coming out of the van and just fucking with the public.
Oh my god.
Bare
Yeah,
looting,
it's
bare
actually
fuckery.
it's very sad.
It's
They're
terrible,
destroying
bro.
a very beautiful country.
It's
I understand
terrible.
the shooting. I don't know much about this. but
Again,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
I don't have no views on the whole politics.
I
or
don't
that
care about
aspect of it.
French people. I don't give a shit about French people.
Yeah, you ever
I
been
could
to
give a-
France?
Never been. Don't care to go.
Really?
I really mean South of France. I will South of France.
You should
Don't-
go. You should go Paris once, bro.
But I probably will go to Paris once. But bro, like there's like I'm the type of traveler. I want to avoid the hot
Tourists.
spots, bro. Like
Yeah, I feel
that's just
that.
not my vibe. I want to go more Eastern Europe. Go to Budapest. You know, even that's a little touristy. But you know, just like different areas, man. Like just
Turkey.
explore. Yeah, bro. Like even for me and my friends, bro, we're in Mexico and we're like, yo, next time let's go to South Africa. You know, like we like doing
Yeah.
things like this. Where it's like, and then I hit up my boy that I knew. I'm like, yo, he's like, come next winter. I bet. And we knew nothing, bro. We knew one person. We just went, and then like, I like doing stuff like that. yeah, French people, man, honestly, man, listen, I had too much to deal in my life to care about French people. I love you guys, but most of you guys are assholes anyway, so sucks.
He basically just said, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
He said,
hey, I'm nothing against immigrants, bro. Like, I'm an immigrant, you know what I'm saying? And like, but yeah, like, I guess to your point, there is probably some things if your immigration laws are very loose, right? So
Check the doc and check out what else we want to cover before we wrap things
so
up.
we're just gonna go through a quick rapid fire round, bro.
Sure.
You want to do that?
Yeah, just for the sake of getting through things quickly.
Yo, do you want
I think I know the answer for this one, but cultured woman versus.
modern woman? Yeah, we just want to clip, bro. Go ahead.
I think the answer is very, I was raised in a traditional household, so yeah,
Fire.
yeah, culture woman. For sure.
You want to just say a quick little?
Why?
Why? Because they're sane.
They're sane.
Like not insane. You know, the opposite of insane. Yeah,
They're sane,
because they're sane. Yeah.
Okay, fair.
There we
Love
go.
it. What's one thing you'd say to a mentee to make them become a better man or a better student?
Let's go with better man.
Focus on
Better
skills
man.
and just learn. Or better man. I mean,
Better
I
man,
guess
yeah.
just I get male role models. You know, I was very blessed to have someone like Brandon Carter in my life that was such a masculine role model, and
sure,
even like
guy's a legend.
watching Tate. You know, like that was a masculine role model that helped me be okay with some of my masculine traits. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like not taking shit from people and like
For
you know
sure.
like standing up for myself and such like that.
Sure.
Okay, and so we off camera talked a bit about, is it unicity? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Unicity. I know you're dabbling into that. Do you want to quickly talk about that?
Yeah, one of the reasons is the opportunity I saw was outside of me is more for my family. You know, I think because it's so big in the Punjabi community, I just saw an opportunity. Hey, bring this to the Nepalese community. I've been taking the products. I think, you know, like I think people will benefit from it because a lot of people in the Nepalese community, a little older, they do struggle with a lot of, you know, different health problems.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like, you know, what Unicity is, like, it's not like the only solution. So I'm not out here saying it is, but like, I just looked at the skills I had, looked at the opportunity, and also just like, you know, my family, like if they just can get on it and make some money, they don't have to work a job no more. So it was more on that side because a lot of people always hit me off to make money, and I know not everyone's capable of writing emails, right? But at least this is like, like learn about it, take the product, and if you like it, you actually could earn money, you know? So
Okay, so
try that.
let's dive a bit deeper, right? So the product, what is it?
Fiber and yerba mate.
And so what does it do for you?
Fiber, like, so for me, main thing, I just don't get bloated and I can just go back to work easily. And yerba mate drink, bro, I like that more than coffee. I just really like the taste of it too. And I've been fasting, like it helps with fasting. Again, like you can get your yerba mate outside, you can get fiber by itself as well, but it became like for example, bro, to prepare yerba mate, you have to put a lot of leaf, water, like it takes some time.
Yeah,
to
it's a
prepare
fucking
that.
process.
Same with like getting a lot of fiber in a diet, like if you just want to just get fiber in your diet, like, you know, it might take more. So yeah, that's, and so I was just using the product for 7 months. And then, you know, the people that got me into the product are like, yo, like there's an earning opportunity, your skill, like you can earn from it. And, you know, and again, to me, I looked at it as like for my parents, and then like some of my I post some of my family on it. Right now, I'm like, yo, just take the product. Because I don't want you to just sell something that you might not believe in, you know, results with. So just try that, you know, and if it works, it works. It doesn't.
It's like a MLM.
Oh yeah, I mean multi-level marketing. So it's affiliate marketing on steroids. That's how I look at it.
So talk to us about the actual like money making opportunity, because I think that's what a lot of people a lot of people will probably be interested in, right? Like what's the actual model like? Where's the money coming from?
I believe if you sell, like, you know, it's like an affiliate marketing on steroids. It's like, for example, I'll give you the perfect example, right? In email marketing, the amount I've talked about Klaviyo is unreal, right? Like from the start, Klaviyo, and then their affiliate marketing is that for 1 year you get 10% of the earnings, right? This is like, yo, you can earn from your own customers, but also the people that heard about the company through you can earn from them as well. And yes, there's a stigma on, like, you know, multi-level marketing. It's a pyramid scheme, but I guess it wouldn't work if the product doesn't work and the people are not buying it.
For sure.
Right? And again, like, it's just getting over the stigma of that for me. Like, I really thought about it, man. Like, yo, like I put a lot of people on email marketing, a lot on Klaviyo. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I did not, I've earned very, I guess, you know what I'm saying, a little amount compared to it. And even this, like, I'm not hard selling shit. Like, I'm like, yo, just try. And if you don't want to try, cool. Like, if you don't want to do the business, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so what are the numbers? Talk to us about the numbers.
Honestly, all that we should get into another day. Like, it's just,
fair,
you know what I'm saying?
Fair. And, you know, another thing is, even with MLMs, right? I know that has a stigma, but it's not like, I think in Toronto, fucking Kuvera ruined the whole concept of affiliate marketing.
No, it's not just Kuvera. It's
IML, all the Forex ones.
It's a bunch of them. There's a great way of doing MLM, and there's a shitty way of doing MLM, and everyone bases their experience off the shitty way of doing it because those guys mass recruit. They
Yeah.
give you the shitty DMs.
Yeah.
Like it's usually a guy who you don't even know who's really hard pitching you to. So I don't want to shit on MLMs as a whole. It's just a lot of
yeah.
people have
No, nothing
bad
wrong with
personal
MLMs. For
experience
sure,
with-
bro.
with
Yeah, there's
MLMs.
stigma
It's
around-
another,
bro, there's
it's
stigma
another
around
business.
everything.
It's another business.
Bro, they thought Tate's affiliate marketing for Hustlers University was an MLM,
Yeah,
or a
yeah,
pyramid
yeah.
scheme, right? So it's like, I'm not gonna spend my time trying to convince people. I do not care what anyone thinks, bro. Like again, bro, my motivation was for this to like help my family get to stop working a job, bro.
That's
Like,
fucking
if you're gonna
sick.
hate me on that, well, cool, man.
Great.
Hate me all you want. I don't give a fuck. Like, fuck.
Yo, so what's next for Splashman? Obviously, you're still doing the email marketing, so building the personal brand.
Just growing that, yeah. Just growing that, just more content, just sharing more of my life, bro. Because I feel like I just experienced so much, a lot of downs, bro. You know, like went through a lot of hard times, and just sharing that, sharing a lot of these things I've learned, and yeah, just growing through that. I want to still travel the world. I want to just, you know, like, yo, honestly, for me right now, just I'm focusing on myself and just being a better me in every area. Like, bro, I used to be shredded, bro. Like, could like dunk at a point. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
shit.
I can't do that. Like, so I was like, I do not want to look at my past and say my peak was my past, because
Yes.
my physical peak was my past.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of my discipline peak, I felt like was the past. You know, I was so much more disciplined when I was younger than I feel like I'm now. Like I got a little spoiled, you know, like making it a little bit, right? So that's why like I'm very, every little area, and even like getting closer to God, bro, just in the last week too, just been such a huge focus for me, just like deepening my relationship with, you know, my faith, and like, yeah, so just like in every area of my life, I want to start being at my peak, and I don't want the peak to be the past.
Phenomenal way of putting
Fire,
it.
bro. Before we
phenomenal
go
way of putting it.
in, before we go into our final four, do you have any other questions for us or anything else you want to talk about?
Not much. I really wanted to share the story behind my name though. 'Cause
Oh,
I think
yeah,
it's a
go for it, go
name.
for it.
So the story, it's called the Mahabharata, right? And it's actually, even in the Bhagavad Gita, our religious text, in the Hindu text, Krishna, God, you know, Lord Krishna is talking to Arjun, right? The king of the kingdom, and they're actually going through a war. And Arjun's son in that kingdom, his name was Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu's son was Parikchhit, King Parikchhit. And then King Parikchit's son was Janmajay. So my grandfather's name is Arjun. My dad's name is Abhimanyu. I never met my grandfather from my dad's side, but he knew my name. You know what I'm saying? So my name is Parikchit, and my firstborn's name is gonna be Janmajay, or you know, or yeah, or
That's
JJ
fucking
for
sick.
so.
That's pretty legendary.
So yeah, and then so I was named after a king, you know. So I remember growing up so insecure about my name, having a brown name in like a Western world. You know, you get so much insecurity. But like just as I grew up, like I started embracing that, bro. I was named after a king, and
That's fucking sick.
Buddy in Parikchit means, like in my language, means angel. You know what I'm saying? So like I started noticing this thing, and then yeah, this was like a lesson, I guess, for me to like, you know, because I tell you, I grew up so insecure about my name because of
'cause
just
in
getting made
Canada,
fun of, you know,
especially-
all these things. Yeah,
Yo,
you know?
hold
Bro,
on.
the kids now have it fucking easy, bro.
No, but you know what I just realized? All of like the brown names, I'm sure other cultures too. Like, okay, so for my name, for example, my last name is Rajakulam. Raja means king, right? What
Raja,
the
yeah, king, Raja,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, what the fuck is David? What the fuck is like Tom? Like, why are all the Western names just fucking, like, what do they mean? You know what I mean?
Bible and stuff, they come from like, you know, John,
Right.
Michael,
Yeah, like the Bible part, the religious part I understand, right? But even just like even the Greek ones, like the Italian ones, like it has some sort of significance. And I think it's so much cooler to have like a fob name. Like what is Radies, right?
Yeah.
Like fucking bro, the amount of times, I'm sure you had it too, when you get a substitute teacher, it's like, oh, here they
those are
fucking
the
go.
worst,
Like,
bro.
fucking
Those
hell.
were the absolute worst,
Bro, and the thing is, you would think that eventually it gets better, but it's like, no. And I have like a life mission of mine, right? Where I want to be such an impactful person to the world where there's no more confusion about how do you pronounce this name.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
also want to be the reason why people in the future name future kids Radies, or, you know, my last name, I have a pretty unique last name too. I don't have that many people, like there's Raj Kumar, Raj fucking this, Singh, that or whatever. But like Rajakulam is pretty unique, and Radies is just like, it's like a blessing in disguise. 'Cause I'm sure you have Parikchhit too. Am I saying it right, Parikchhit?
Yeah, Parikchit, yeah.
We're like, how often do you meet a Parikchhit? Pretty often because of the king thing, or no?
No, never, bro.
And isn't that kind of sick? Like, bro, like
I like that.
It's
I
like
like
it's
that.
fucking
Yeah.
unique. Like people look at you like, yo,
It's a shift of perspective again,
Yeah.
right? So again, like it's the perspective thing. You can, I used to look at it in the worst way. Now I look at it in such a positive way. Like, man, I'm named after a king. Like,
For sure.
it's a special. Like, you know, I'm unique. You know,
100%. It's crazy. So that to piggyback off what you're saying is, even myself, I grew up so insecure about my name. I used to, because my name's Umar, spelled with a U, but I used to tell people Omar just because it's easier for them to pronounce and they're not gonna fuck it up. And later as I was growing up, I realized I was named after one of the Islamic rulers, and it was like I want to live up to this name.
Yeah,
you know?
bro.
Like that's who my parents had in mind when they chose to name me. It's like I want to live up to that name.
Yeah, and we have a lot of history, man. We have a lot of history behind our family name and everything.
I encourage everyone should study a little bit of history and just be known, because it's even with our prophet and peace and blessing be upon him, he would have a thing when if he had someone with a bad name or a harsh name, he would actually change their name.
No way.
Right?
Wow.
Not legally, obviously, but everyone just start calling them by a different name, because they say your names are attributed to something, right? Think about it. If you really think about it, it's almost like what's the word when you keep saying something over and over
Repetition.
again? Not repetition.
Affirmation.
It's like an affirmation. Imagine every time someone's calling you, let's just say your name meant fucking ugly. Imagine everyone's calling you ugly, ugly, ugly. How are you gonna feel about yourself, right? And they had, and especially in Arabic culture, they had these harsher names because they wanted the kids to be tough or whatever. But you come and give them the complete opposite name, right? So your names hold a lot of attachment to it.
The other thing is, bro, like family names too, right? Like I feel like now no one really cares about their family name. Like you don't have pride to be like your family name. Like, bro, I fucking. So it's okay. Quick tangent. So it's funny because in Tamil culture, right? So the last names with like your kids, it works a bit different. So you know how like usually with like white is it?
No. I just know it because I have a lot of Tamil friends.
Yeah,
so
right.
I know what you're talking about.
So
I know
like
what you mean.
my last name or my kid's last name is technically supposed to be Radies.
Yeah. You take your father's name as your last name, right?
That's
in your
an
culture.
Arabic
Exactly. Yeah,
That's
I
an
remember.
Arabic thing as well, actually.
No way, really? I didn't know that.
It's
Wow,
Arabic thing
interesting.
as well.
And I was like, yo, like I want to keep Rajakulam because like it's fucking like it literally has king in it. It's a sick name. And I'm like, okay, like, and me and my mom be like have like little petty like funny arguments. I'd be like, no, I'm gonna do this. I'd be like, oh, we'll see what my wife says. I just like piss her off, right? And then it's interesting because a lot of people they don't care anymore. It's like, who the fuck? Like no one cares. Like, oh, we are the like when you're a king. Even like, do you guys watch Game of Thrones?
No.
Or like, okay, let's just say in like the royal kingdoms, right? Like it's like, oh, we are the Lannisters, we are the this, and it's like your name almost has like weight to it, right?
Yeah.
Like it has significance. It has
Look
some
at how
sort of
Tate
importance.
talks about him. He's like, I'm a Tate.
Yeah,
I have
exactly.
to live up to the Tate name.
Exactly.
And even me, I had to go like when I went back to Nepal and I started learning about my history and then about my ancestors, bro. I felt so much pride.
Love
man.
for it.
I was
Yeah.
like, bro, I come from a lineage of like literal warriors.
Savages.
Like,
Yeah, like
my
fucking
caste
legends,
is
bro.
like actual warriors.
Yeah.
Everyone in my family except for me and my dad were in the Nepalese army.
Yes.
Or like we're warriors that helped the king unify Nepal, you know? So like when you actually like take time to learn your history, you get that pride, and that's what helped me just change my perspective and stop being insecure, because I'm like, bro, I have like, you know, I'm a Basnet, bro. I have a lot to live up to.
Yeah, bro. And
But another thing too is this is a big psychological lesson is for kids that are insecure about their name, that reflects into a lot of things in your life. Because I was just like you, bro. I was very shy, very timid, very to myself, embarrassed of my name.
For sure.
And I feel like it all changed from that. Because imagine, if you're embarrassed of your fucking name, how is that gonna make you, if the moment you introduce yourself, you don't know how is this person gonna react to my name? Do I gotta tell him a different name? Is he gonna say my name right? And your body language
like
is
social
fucking
anxiety.
weak.
I used to have a lot of
It's
social
like,
anxiety.
it fucking fucks everything from the go. So don't be fucking insecure about your name. Like you said, just learn about your lineage, learn about where the roots come from. And even if your name is not significant, just fucking own it
It's all
anyways.
perspective too,
and
man.
It's all perspective. It's all the fucking work.
bro, and another thing is like when I usually go back home, I haven't been in a while, but everyone's house is, oh, that's Joseph's house, that's this guy's house, that's this guy's house, right? Because in Sri Lanka, where I'm from, we have Hindus and we have a lot of Christians or Catholics as well, and you're known as, oh, it's his house, it's his house. Oh, that's his daughter, his da 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 da. And I feel like over there, again, this is just a generalization, right? But a lot of people over there, they had some sort of significance. Like you could be a fisherman, and it's still, yo, he's the fisherman, right? Like he's that guy,
Yeah,
right?
word,
As
word.
opposed to like over here, it's
The
like
last name signifies that. They're
exactly,
what they are, or what they did. Yeah.
And it's like, bro, all the things that they do, it's like it's passed on. Like, oh, that's the market guy's daughter, that's the auto guy's daughter, this is that, whatever.
Punjabi culture, they actually added to their name.
Bro, and it's like I don't know why over
I
here.
know what you're talking about.
It's like I don't know, like over
I have
here.
some friends, that I can tell. Yeah, what
Maybe
they
like
did. Sorry, my bad.
no, you're good. Maybe people just don't. I don't know if it's here. Like people just don't do as significant shit anymore because everyone's just like a 9 to 5 office cubicle. Like, what are you gonna say? Oh, that's the guy that works in the fucking that building in that office. Like it's just not a thing anymore. And I don't know if it's because we're not doing significant things compared to the past, or I don't know what it is. But I think that needs to come back because it's your right to represent your culture, where you come from, your name.
Proud of yourself, bro.
Yeah, like you should love your name,
live
bro.
a life where you're proud of yourself instead of you're like doubting yourself, because that's how I was. I grew up like, you know, just being like not being proud of my culture, not being proud of my name, just, you know, like think like, you know what I mean? And like that's what I meant by like just watching Tate being able to like stand up for myself and like be like, yeah, like someone doesn't like me for my name. Fuck, I used to be so insecure about my teeth. You know, I had braces and my teeth are still not perfect, but
Same.
I stopped wearing my retainers because I'm like, bro, if someone don't fuck with me because of my teeth, word, like
Fuck those guys.
Okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Word.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Word.
Bro, and another thing is, I think it should be, again, this is just my personal thing, but I want to be such a fucking legend. Like, for example, there's Neymar Jr. I think Andrew Tate's also a junior or a second or something, right? There's King Richard III, King da-da-da, whatever. I think everyone should strive to be such a fucking legend that if you go to your wife and you say, oh, I want my kid to be Radies Jr., Umar Jr., Parikchhit Jr., she's going to be like, yeah, I like, sure. If your girl's saying, no, you know what I mean? She doesn't even fucking respect your own name. Like, she doesn't even fucking think you're a guy to name another kid after you. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Why would you even ask your wife what she thinks about naming the kid?
Facts. There you go.
Crazy.
What a way to end the pod.
I can't wait to hear that conversation
Crazy.
you're having, man, with your wife one day. I can't wait for that conversation.
We'll bring her on the podcast. too. Yo, let's go on to our final four.
let's
Wrap
wrap
things
it
up.
My bad, guys.
Yeah,
No,
last
no,
four
bro. This
questions
has
we're
been
gonna
an
ask you.
amazing podcast.
It's
I'm
actually
sure
very fun.
we could probably go for like another hour if we
I
wanted
would
to.
We definitely fucking could.
We probably fucking could. We could have even, yeah. Anyways, final four. Yo, so this is just a bit more fun, lighthearted questions. If you had to swap lives with someone for 24 hours, who would you pick?
Drake.
Fire.
Drake.
Yeah.
Any reason why?
I mean, bro, we grew up in
Fucking
Toronto.
Drake.
Who else do you look
The
up
G.
to than Drake? Minus the fucking,
The nail polish.
all
Yo,
that
yo,
shit.
yeah. Okay, hold, wait. What's up
Chill
with that? Yo,
chill with that, chill with that,
Drizzy,
chill
buddy.
with that, chill
Wait,
with
what do you think about that, bro?
Yo, listen, do you, bro? It just ain't me, you know what I'm saying? But like, yo, just do you? You know what I'm saying?
So Andrew Tate said, bro, you're talking about that guy a lot. Fucking, he said, he quote tweeted the tweet,
Yeah, I
and he's
saw it
like,
today. That's why I don't link with.
yeah, he's like, that's why I don't link with famous people, and he just puts a picture of Drake with no polish.
Crazy. Well, I think
Yo, do you, bro? It ain't
I
me.
think
And
it's-
it's just,
I don't blame Drake, man. It must have been his handler who made him do it.
Think about
but-
the environment they're in too, right? That's just normal, right? So if everyone in your environment is doing that, it's normal. Like it's normal, right? For us, like all of us to know about dropshipping, know about certain, it's so normal, right? In order to like certain things are so normal.
For sure.
It's just you just end up like, bro. Everyone like ends up buying a Rolex when they're an entrepreneur.
Dude,
everyone ends up going to Bali. You know what I'm saying?
Genuinely, bro, I don't think his boys put on nail polish. I think his handler forced him to,
Probably,
bro.
man. Who knows, bro?
That's a reality, but I mean, let's not get into that.
Sad to think about, but yeah.
Next question is, who would you say is the most motivating person of all time for you?
Like what do you mean by that?
Like most motivating, like someone who's I guess cast the most motivation on you.
Brandon Carter, bro. Without that guy, I would not be where I am. That guy is my black father. You know what I'm saying? I literally on Father's Day, I say Happy Father's Day because that is the black father I never had. But genuinely, like, you know, I met him when I was so young, and he just took me in and, you know, just taught me a lot of things and did a lot of things for me he didn't have to do. And a lot of the way I look at life, a lot of the beliefs I have, a lot of things I know is because of my mentor Brandon, and I literally owe that man my life, and I'm so grateful that I'm gonna get to see him this week. So yeah,
Awesome.
That's
awesome.
actually dope. That's dope.
That's dope.
Okay, so your whole life up until now is written in a book. What would the title of that book be called?
Actually
Bless
have
you.
the name, bro. I wrote this. I remember thinking about this when I was 2020. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know, bro. Like something about like pursuit of greatness or something. Something along the line of like, I don't know, greatness is the standard, something that not everyone, you know, like something that everyone should strive for, something like that. Or I don't know, bro. Something to do with, I remember I had it, bro. I forgot it, man. But like, because I remember another psychedelic trip, bro. I was thinking about the concept of greatness. And I was actually, because I was tripping and I was like, I need to listen to music to feel good. And that's when like Drake just dropped Life is Good. It's crazy. I watched that shit 20 times and I just focused on like,
Details.
here's what I thought, bro. I'm like, this is just another broke Toronto kid that made it. He's no different than me. And if he can achieve that, I don't have to be famous, but it's possible to achieve my greatness in my own way.
Yes,
So
for sure.
ever since then, for me, like I was like, greatness is the standard.
Yes.
You know, so yeah, actually, greatness is the standard. There you go.
Greatness
That'll be
is the
name of it.
standard.
Greatness is the standard.
I like that. Yeah, the best bar on that is when Future says $100,000 for the cheapest ring on a finger, little bitch. Like, just take that in. Imagine.
Crazy.
Like, take that in, fam. The cheapest ring on your finger is $100K.
That's crazy.
It's fucking sick.
Yeah,
Legendary.
Shout out to Future, man.
Yo, take the wrapper off around your cigar. It's gonna start tasting burnt or else.
Oh.
Okay, and then the last question we're gonna ask you is: if today was your dying message to the world, your absolute last message, what would your last message be?
Dream big and relentlessly go for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's really it, bro. Or back to greatness, like, yo, make greatness the standard because you have the potential to do so. You're really not different. But bro, like, again, Drake walked the same streets as us, as broke as us.
That's true.
And he found a way. Actually, you know what? I got it, actually. Where there is a will, there's a way. That's actually my favorite quote of all time, and I live by that quote. Where there is a will, there's a way. And there's been so many times where I didn't find the way, but I had to. The way wasn't clear, but I had the will to find it. And I live by where there is a will, there's a way. So if I want something, I ask myself, do I have the will to find the way? And if the answer is yes, because I've done it, I've said that to myself, and there's been times where, you know, certain things I can't even talk about. I'll tell you guys outside of the thing, because I'll be incriminating myself in a way. But it's like, they just seemed impossible, and I found the way, bro. And ever since then, I just knew that, yo, if I have the will to find the way, I'll find it. So nothing's impossible, yeah.
Phenomenal.
Fucking fire, bro. What a podcast.
What a fucking legendary episode, guys. I think Splash definitely deserves a part 2. Make sure you run this video up, share this, like this, comment.
Thank you guys for having me, man. This is awesome.
Sure.
I know like I couldn't come earlier just due to some reasons, but I'm glad, I'm glad we did it at this time, because I think this headspace I'm in was probably made the podcast better. So yeah,
that's good.
I love
good.
it, man.
We appreciate you coming on here.
That's sick.
Wrap
guys.
this up.
Yeah.
Just take it away.
Guys, until next time, remember, stay seeking success. There we go.
All links below.
Let's fucking go. Good shoot. That's fire.